been a week since Google changed its privacy policy. Have you noticed anything different as you search the web, check your Gmail, or look at YouTube? And since the internet is basically free, what can you do about it? You get what you pay for, right? Joining us tonight on Capital Insider to break down the whole issue of privacy on the web and other electronic devices is Jules Polonetsky. He's the former Chief Privacy Officer and Senior Vice President for Consumer Advocacy at AOL. Jules currently serves as co-chair and director of the Future of Privacy Forum. So bring us up to date on what Google's been up to.
Well, what I think a lot of consumers are first starting to realize is that the internet and the sites you visit aren't really free. Whether it's Google or Apple, a lot of the sites you visit, they're paying for those services by showing targeted ads to you. And the more they know about you, the more effective those ads can be. To some people, that's useful. We're only going to see an ad anyway, might as well be relevant. To other people, that's a little bit creepy. What Google did is they announced that they're going to use lots of the information, and they have a good deal of information about us, right? We use Gmail, we use their search. Some people use their Google Plus social network.
Right.
YouTube, your search history. They're going to start tying together more of that data. They've always tied together some of it. They're going to tie together more of it in an attempt to make the ads you see be even more relevant.
And it's so subliminal. For example, I was looking for Coach leather briefcases. I start to see these ads pop up in emails, at the top of the banners and various places, but you really don't see it at first, but then it starts to have a subliminal message because they're kind of appearing everywhere, and they almost want you to order popcorn at the movie or buy the bag, or buy, it's just so subliminal because it's always targeting you, but it's not right out there at you, but it does show up, doesn't it?
Well, sometimes their goal is just to get you to click and go ahead and buy something at that site.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just to get that brand in your consciousness.
Except for what it's doing for me.
The next time you're out there shopping, you'll think of that brand.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that Google and Yahoo and some of the other companies that do this have started showing people what it is they know about you. And a lot of people were worried that when consumers went in and saw these profiles, they'd freak out. They'd say, well, wait a second.
Right.
Interestingly, what most people are doing is they're going in, and some are certainly turning it off, and others want Google or Yahoo to get them right. So they go in there and they edit it. And they say, what do you mean you think I'm a male because I go to a lot of technology sites? I'm female. Get it right. If you're going to take my time, get it correct.
If you're going to steal my privacy, at least do it right. Let's talk about apps, free apps versus the apps that you pay for, because now this whole thing has gone from the internet on our computers to iPhones, iPads, all sorts of electronic devices. What's the accuracy in terms of what they know about us, and are they watching us through some of these apps and stealing our data that way?
Well, on the web, we're dealing with these very big companies often. It's Yahoo, it's Google. What's become popular on mobile phones, of course, are these little apps created by tens of thousands of little developers who are all over the world. Some of them are kids or teenagers. And if they create an app that is popular and users download it, these folks have access sometimes to your photos, to your address book. So there's been a lot of concern about some of these apps grabbing more data than they should have. People's address books without necessarily telling them, people's photos without asking permission. Some of these apps ask for your location. Now, I get that if it's a mapping service, it's going to help me navigate. But if it's sort of a flashlight or a little game, why is it asking me for a location?
That's true, and I happen to have both of those, a little flashlight and some games, and it always says, can we take your location? I figured, well, okay, but why?
Well, same answer, right? They want to target ads to you, and they want those ads to be locally relevant ads. But the question is, who's keeping an eye on these apps? These folks can be all over the world. Who's making sure that this program that is on my phone, which is this trusted thing, recently showed that most users sleep with their phone within arm's reach. I mean, we can't let go of these things, and it has our most sensitive information. The California Attorney General just reached a settlement with Apple and with Google and the other platforms that enable these apps to require that apps have to at least have a privacy policy. Now, that's not a solution, but at least you can read and understand, well, this app wants my location because it's going to target ads. This app sells my data. Maybe I don't want this app. And then at least make a smart and informed decision. But it took the California's Attorney General to kind of get involved and crack the whip to get any movement over here.
Some interesting statistics. Out of the free apps surveyed, 66% had privacy policies, while only 33% of the paid apps had privacy policies. Of the free apps with privacy policies, approximately 75% made the privacy policy accessible in the app itself or via a web web link. To find privacy policies for the other 25%, consumers had to visit the developer's website. So they don't make it easy for you. And how often have we downloaded music or apps or other things and we should say, click, yeah, we understand and agree, because we just want to get it over with. But we should study these things, shouldn't we?
Well, the Obama administration has just introduced a consumer bill of rights for privacy. And their hope is that by having a national law in place, maybe we won't actually have to read the policy, but we'll be able to rely on the fact that there's some obligation to protect our data.
What's your website?
futureofprivacy.org.
Now is the time, too. I mean, this stuff we've heard about 5-10 years ago, but it's really on the cutting edge now, and we need organizations like yours. Thanks. Jules Polonetsky, our guest on Capital Insider. We're going to take a quick break right now, but even when we're not on the air, you can find us on Facebook at the Capital Insider page, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.